which go against the Muslims or the main minority in India. And thirdly, I think I would blame some of the traditional Muslim leaders who themselves try to keep their flock separate from the mainstream, because they are very valuable vote banks, and they can, get elected to various things. They are the middlemen to negotiate with the powers that be on behalf of the Muslims. Right. So there are these sets of
You think
problems.
one of the problems is leadership, proper leadership for Muslims?
I think so, certainly. I mean, not only Muslims but also Sikhs. That's important.
We talked about India, Pakistan. Do you think that the Kashmir problem will be resolved, or do you think it will continue?
Well, I don't know about resolution, what you mean by it, but I think I can see it put to the side and being a less irritating factor between the two countries. Because as you see, the India-China relationship and our long border dispute is going on and on.
Yes.
By and large, India has decided to say, okay, I mean, we can't solve it immediately, let's put it aside, sort of thing. So I see that more and more, yes.
But this is more dynamic. There is strife, and
there are greater passions, because after all, we are one people, yes, kind of thing, yes. And of course, as you know, animosities between old cousins or brothers are very deep.
There is a globalization force that is overtaking everyone. Will India be forced to change some of its norms, values and attitudes in the near future?
I think that's already changing. If you
In what way would you like to expand on that?
Well, socially, I think, for instance, if you look at page 3 of newspapers, in Indian newspapers, page 3 is traditional society circuit. Mm-hmm. You see women now holding glasses of wine, at least, if not whiskey. You see many more Indian women wearing Western clothes than they used to, at least at a certain level. I think you see a little less inhibition in societal mores, whether it's sexual or otherwise. So obviously, things
Are
going
there
to
really any changes in the content of the Indian psyche? Could you point out at one?
Well, I would expect it to be more tolerant in a way of change than otherwise. But of course, the essence is different. The essence, I think, Indian society is still rooted in the essence of old Indian values.
Will the role of religion in Indian public life increase or decrease in the next 20 years?
My regret is that I wouldn't call it religion, but religiosity.
You mean politicization of religion?
Yes, and the sort of ostentatious manifestations of religion rather than politicization.
Give me an example.
Well, you see all the various political dues, starting with the prayers and that kind of thing, which has not been the case before. You see the kind of people who normally would be secular, or you consider secular, sort of mouthing slogans which are semi-religious and so on. So there is this tendency to pander to what I call this ostentatious show of religion.
What 3 words would you use to describe India as you see it today?
I would make it 2 words.
Okay.
Incredible India. That's the campaign, the advertisement campaign, as you know.
You have to give me one more word, because it's incredible, and then one more, and then India.
Incredible, chaotic India.
Okay, we got it. Is there anything that appalls you about a developing country, especially India?
Well, there's so many things.
Like
It be like poverty, like bigotry, like religious divides. Because to me, religion is a matter of personal practice and belief,
Right.
not a public display kind of a thing. Corruption. I'd like to see corruption diminish, if not disappear.
Is there anything that inspires you about India? What is your source of inspiration?
Well, I think that there are still people who are idealistic, committed people, some of them in the leadership, but in the political establishment, but many more outside the political establishment. There are people fighting their lone battles against authority of various kinds, much more so than used to be the case. I think the middle class has flowered to a certain extent, or at least sections of it, to take on challenging the government or the authorities for justice in various fields, which is encouraging. And I think I would go back to the old leadership like Nehru and so on as inspiration.
After Nehru, do you see anybody who might fill the space, or is it impossible?
We are too close, I think, to know.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you, Mr. Nihal Singh, and I'm glad you made some time for us for Global Forum TV. Thank you.
Thank you.